From the North Devon coast to the Atlantic shores, from the tropical rainforests to the sunny Azores, from Icelandic wastelands to Australian deserts. This is Cauldron FM, where the magic really happens. You are listening to Coaching Radio, the sound of success. Well, merry meet and welcome to this groundbreaking broadcast from the joint forces of Cauldron FM and Coaching Radio. This came about because last week on Wednesday, the 5th of January 2011, I was asked to present to Bideford pagans a talk about positive affirmations. And whilst I was there giving this talk, suddenly, ka-ching, I had a light bulb moment. And I thought, hang on a minute, this is ideal, this is the gateway into the talk situation that I wanted, because it means that I can amalgamate, not all the time, but occasionally, Coaching Radio and Cauldron FM. And so that's what brought about this recording tonight. So for those of you who don't know me personally, I just thought a very quick introduction. My name's Dave Baxter, aka The Merlin, and I am a director of a company called Magic Planet. And Magic Planet includes Altered Image, which is the life coaching company, Coaching Radio, Cauldron FM, and the icing on the cake for us is Ilfracombe TV. Now, I live by a maxim that every day I get a little bit better, which is what is commonly known as positive affirmations. Positive affirmations work, and here I will try to explain how and why positive affirmations can be used to manifest your needs and bring positive and permanent changes to your life. You will also learn how to create and supercharge your own affirmations. So first of all, let's clarify what an affirmation really is. And quite simply, it's every thought that you think and every word that you say is an affirmation. All of our self-talk or inner dialogue is nothing but a stream of affirmations. We are continually affirming subconsciously with our words and thoughts, and this flow of affirmation is creating our life experience in every single moment. Our beliefs are learned thought patterns that have been developed since childhood, and whilst many of these work well for us, others may now be working against us, sabotaging us from achieving what we believe we want. Every affirmation we think or say is a reflection of our inner truth or belief. But we have to realise that many of these inner truths may not actually be true for us now, or may be based on invalid or inappropriate impressions that we constructed as children. Our subconscious uses the behaviour patterns we have learned to automatically respond and react to many everyday events in our life. And this mechanism is essential to our survival, because we need to be able to respond quickly to events around us, and this would be practically impossible if we had to re-examine every aspect of things every time something simple happened. Our learned responses and thought patterns enable us to automatically respond to circumstances quickly and easily. However, problems can arise if some of those basic foundational beliefs that form the basis of many of our adult beliefs were formed from a skewed perspective. Maybe the strategy that was appropriate for a perceived difficult circumstance as a child, but often such beliefs are now totally inappropriate when we are working in an adult world. We can use positive affirmations which are usually short positive statements, which are targeted at the subconscious to challenge and undermine negative beliefs and to replace them with positive, self-nurturing beliefs. It's a kind of brainwashing, really. Only you get to choose which negative beliefs you get rid of. The way these statements are constructed is extremely important. And later I'm going to explain how to construct your own affirmations. It's important to remember that everything we say and think is a positive affirmation. Using positive affirmation statements forces us to keep focused on our inner goals and reminds us to think consciously about our words and thoughts and to modify them to reflect our positive affirmations. So let me just repeat that, because it might get a little bit confusing a little bit later on. So the repeat is, everything we say and we think is a positive affirmation. Using positive affirmation statements forces us to keep focused on our inner goals and reminds us to think consciously about our words and thoughts and to modify them to reflect our positive affirmations. So when I was doing the lecture, I had a few puzzled looks by this. So just to explain, really, the subconscious knows not the difference between positive and negative. All it ever sees are statements, and it's our interpretation of those statements in thinking brains that actually give them the positive and negative situation. So that's why I say, when affirmations are continually being said by your brain, they are always positive. There's no such thing as a negative statement coming out of the brain. It's our interpretation of it. Now let me just say here as well that I am not a positive thinking sort of guy. I believe in taking a positive approach to life. But I certainly don't go out into the garden and chant there are no weeds, like as is said in one or two other people's. I don't chant it over and over again and expect the weeds to disappear. No, I believe that there are weeds wherever you look. And a positive approach to that is, how do I eradicate them? What do I have to do to eradicate them? Do affirmations work? Oh yes, affirmations really do work. You'll be hard pushed to find any self-help program that doesn't include affirmations. Even the ones that appear to poo-poo affirmations include them under some slightly different guise. And the reason for this is, they work. The more determined you are to make your changes, the more you are prepared to accept change and let go of the past, and the better they will work for you. Now, what I want to do here is just to explain how I can say with such great conviction that positive affirmations actually work. So what I'd like you to do is to join me in a little journey back to 1989, and I was visiting Glastonbury, a place that I've visited many times, and during that time, this visit in 1989, I got to meet a very special lady in my life, who went on to become my mentor as a coach, and she helped me change my life from being a complete confirmed skeptic, to being somebody who was open and was prepared to give everything the benefit of the doubt. Anyway, this particular day we were there, we were talking about positive thinking, affirmations, etc. And Elaine taught me a very important phrase, an affirmation. And I've used this phrase over and over again throughout my life because it works. And that simple phrase is, let the object I desire come easily and effortlessly into my life. So how does it work? And how did that work in that day? Well, the story is that we got in the car after having had this talk with Elaine, and we were heading off to Street, which is only a few miles down the road. And our daughter was in the process of doing her textiles course. And she sat in the back of the car and she said to me, "Dad, I need some ball bearings." "What? Ball bearings? Where on earth am I going to get ball bearings from?" So she said, "Don't know, but I need some. I've got to have them for this textile project I'm doing." So I thought, oh, good grief. So anyway, I decided that this was an ideal opportunity to try out Elaine's teaching. So I sat in the car, and before I set off, I visualised these ball bearings and let the object I desire come easily and effortlessly into my life. And as we went off to Street, every opportunity I got, I said this phrase over and over again. We get into Street, we go wandering around the shops and stopping and taking time out to say this phrase, visualising these ball bearings coming at me. Eventually we'd finished there, we went back to the car and we were going back to Glastonbury. As we're driving away from the car park, we came to a fork in the road, and in the middle of the fork in the road was a shop up 3 steps, and it was something like Party Supplies or something like that. And I had this incredible compunction. I had to stop the car and go and ask these people whether they knew where we could get some ball bearings from. So this is what I did. Went into the shop, the lady's standing there. She said, "Can I help you?" I said, "Yes, I hope so. I'm looking for some ball bearings." So she said, "You mean the kind of ones that you put on cakes for cake decoration?" Ding! Yes, they would be ideal. Right, she said, "Well, I don't actually sell them." She said, "But are you going anywhere near Glastonbury?" I said, "Yes, we're actually going back there now." So she said, "Right, on the high street is a shop, and this shop is called the Truckle of Cheese." She said, "Now, they do sell cake decorations." So thanking her very much, got out to the car, set off back to Glastonbury. And in those days, there was a car park on the corner on this road where the Truckle of Cheese was, because it was on the corner of a high street and another road. So I pulled into the car park and we all piled out, go back to this shop, and on the shop the doors were on the corner, double doors, flung the doors open, and there, right in front of us, was a stand with these cake decorations on it, and at eye level there were the ball bearing type, and there was pink ones and white ones and silver ones, green ones, yellow ones, blue ones, all sorts of colours. And they were just there, waiting for us. So that's how I know that affirmations really do work.